Siemens. The main activity of the Siemens Group is aimed at electronics and electrical engineering, are the specialties that have developed for over 150 years. Definition of corruption. Corruption is an illicit act that is against of your ethical values and which damages your person and the society. I am not interested in power for power's sake, but I'm interested in power that is moral, that is right, and that is good. By Martin Luther King. 3 different types of corruption. The first one is the systematic corruption. It's when corruption is an integrated and essential aspect of the economic, social, and political system, when it is embodied in a wider situation that helps sustain it. Sporadic, like is an individual corruption. Sporadic is the opposite of systematic corruption that occurs irregularly and therefore it does not threaten the mechanisms of control nor the economic as such. It is not crippling, but it can seriously undermine moral and sap the economic of resources. And the last one is grand corruption. This type of corruption is defined as corruption that involves heads and state, ministers, or other senior government officials and serves the interests of a narrow group of business people and politicians as criminal elements. Who is harmed by corruption? There is plenty of evidence that corruption harms micro-prosperity, as corruption hurts your integrity as a person in front of others, so when you engage in corruption, the main harm is yourself. The corruption on Wall Street has become so deep and so vast that it is hard to even find the words to describe it. The level of greed being displayed by many Wall Street firms will make Gordon Gekko blush. It seems that the major financial players will try just about anything these days, as long as they think they can get away with it. But in process, they are contributing to the destruction of the greatest economic machine that the planet has ever seen. And how Siemens got into the problem of corruption? Until 1999, German law did not specifically prohibit the payment of foreign bribes to secure business. In fact, these payments were tax deductible. After the law changed, greater effort was made to conceal payments. Slush fund monies were diverted to a network of accounts and shell corporations. Siemens hired locals, also consultants, to help with contracts, setting up business consultant agreements that paid the consultants commissions. What was the cost that Siemens had to pay for this problem? As a result of the investigation, Siemens dismissed more than 500 employees who were implicated in the corruption and sued 9 more former members of its managing board for $28.3 million for breaching their duties. Former CEO Henry von Pierre and Klaus Klein agreed to pay Siemens $7.5 million and $3 million respectively to settle the case. But what was the solution to fight corruption in Siemens? The Siemens compliance systems. They wanted to establish the accomplice in the minds and actions of all Siemens employees. They have zero tolerance for corruption and violence of the principles of fair competition. The Siemens compliance system was divided into 3 action levels: prevent, detect, and response. Siemens Integrity Initiative. Siemens has launched a global Siemens Integrity Initiative that supports organizations and projects fighting corruption and fraud through collective action, education, and training with over $100 million. As a Siemens employee working in a country where laws on corruption are not enforced, how will you respond to the changes adopted by the company? We will not be willing to take part in this act of corruption by the company because we were formed as people with values and this would be against our ethics. Thank you.